selling real one Chevy.
Hey everyone, welcome to IJustWatched. It's your boys. We're back and we're here to talk Mortal Kombat. But no, we're here to discuss the newest, the 2021 reimagining of Mortal Kombat. And one thing I gotta say is I hope you like this video enough to smash that like button, click the subscribe to stay tuned to see all of our shenanigans, hit the little bell to get notified when those shenanigans release. That being said, let's jump in, let's talk Mortal Kombat. Alright, so just jumping in with the 2021 version of Mortal Kombat. It's...
Call it what it is, man. Call it what it is.
It's trash, man. It's absolute trash. Like, I don't understand how people are vibing and loving it and saying it's great. So, personally, one thing that I expected this movie to be, like, flawless at was the fight scenes, alright? Because, you know, that's what they were selling. Fight scenes and gore. So I expected fight scenes and gore to be the most flawless piece of this movie. However, that being said, the gore was, it wasn't even that bad, to be honest. It wasn't super gory, which doesn't bother me. I don't care. Like, I'm not like, oh, it has to be super gory, because, like, I have the game for that. I wanted these characters to get a proper rendition for these characters in this story. That being said, the fight scenes, some were great. A couple of them were like, okay, these are fun. Like, the first 7 minutes, I was like, okay, that's pretty good. Hopefully the movie's like this. And it wasn't, because a lot of the fight scenes were whack. Either they were short and nothing really happens, or all they wanted to show you was like, look, we know how to do a fatality in live action, so they would do it. But I'm like, yeah, but there was no reason, like there was no earning, there was no actual fight, like there was no legit confrontation between these characters. It was like, I'm gonna win, and then boom, done. And I was like, so even some of the fight scenes lacked big time for me, and that was supposed to be like flawless. This is the best way I could put it right now. The characters that they brought to life, I absolutely hate the way they brought them to life. Like we had discussed before, I knew I was gonna dislike Cole Young because in a franchise that has a 97 character strong roster, the one thing it doesn't need is for you to come up with a new character who serves no fucking purpose. Does nothing.
Also the fact that you're gonna make this character part of Scorpion's tribe when in all Mortal Kombat lore, he never had his whole clan is dead.
Yes,
that's the whole purpose of him existing, is that his whole clan is dead, and that he has become now a revenant.
Yes, and he's vengeance as Scorpion. And even in the most recent Mortal Kombat 11, when his tribe is alive, it's not quote unquote the pure bloods or anything. It's people who have the heart and soul that he deems worthy to be in his tribe. Like here, he technically, like, and then the thing is, okay, I thought like him being related, he was gonna be the new Scorpion. I was like, okay, maybe they're trying to just do that, whatever. Basura. His character's trash. His character's story is trash. And one of my biggest, well, multiple issues. There's no Mortal Kombat tournament in this movie, and they still go through the fights. And I'm like, but like the whole purpose of this franchise
the thing,
is the story involved with Mortal Kombat.
Exactly, and you got a lot of major character deaths before the tournament, and
like which changes. That means everything from here on is going to be completely different.
It's no longer a Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
rendition.
And they had characters like, okay, Melina shouldn't exist yet because Katana doesn't exist yet.
All they showed was just a fan of Katana. Yeah, and that's it. And that's literally.
And we saw. I mean, they had a fuck ton of Easter eggs. Kodo Khan is there, but he shouldn't be Khan yet. He should just be Kodo. He shouldn't look like Kodo Khan yet.
Exactly.
You have Shinnok's amulet. Like you see Easter eggs like that, which are like Easter egg, all right, but that's not hard to do an Easter egg. But then Raiden is whack. Liu Kang is whack. The only one I liked was Kung Lao. And I liked Kano dialogue, but even they fucked him up because, for one, when they're training, there was no training, bro. There was no proper training. There was no recruitment. Raiden literally, his job is literally to recruit Earthrealmers to defend Earthrealm.
And he wasn't even doing that.
He
gave me the vibes.
He was the worst coach I've ever seen in my life.
He gave me the vibes of Haymitch from Hunger Games?
Sounds familiar. Yes.
Where he's trying to help them, but he's drunk all the time?
Yeah.
That's literally what this Raiden gave me.
Exactly.
It's vibes of like...
And the worst part is, at least Haymitch had a team of people to support you. No one. It was trash. And then...
Like, we're all over the place.
Because I just hate it.
And then we tried so hard to, like, not make this video with just pure us yelling and hating it, like, all the way. The thing is like we genuinely hate this movie. This movie is complete garbage, and we've been taking our time to actually talk normally and say what parts we hate or what we hate in general. Because like the one thing you said was the fights. The fights most definitely.
I thought that was supposed to be the most killer part of it. Exactly. Because that's what they were selling. We're like, oh, our fights are going to be on point. I'm like, okay, cool, and they really weren't.
And it was just the beginning and the last fight that was just like the only thing that was good.
And then you get into character. Like my biggest issue with the story is whack because it takes place like. If you are a person who has maybe played a couple games but doesn't care about the story, you'll probably like this. If you never played the games, you'll probably like this. But as a person, persons who have not only played all the games, who have not only like fallen deep into the lore, because Mortal Kombat has some of the best lore, because each character has a deep story. And I'm not saying for this movie you have to dive into that. Mm-hmm. Excuse me, but at the very least you have to dive deep into the lore involving the tournament, and then you could build the characters. They didn't even do that.
Raiden didn't look like Raiden.
No.
The person who plays as Liu Kang is small. People all over the internet are showing us the previous guy who played Liu Kang. Yeah. That was Liu Kang. Even everybody says that was Liu Kang. That man was a monster.
Kung Lao is leaner than Liu Kang. And here he looked alright. Like, he looked a little meatier.
Kung Lao was one of the few characters that actually looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Kano looked like Kano looked small.
Yeah,
he looks small for a guy who's supposed an Aussie who's supposed to be huge.
Yeah, like he's the Black Dragon,
and he looks very small. The only thing I did like about this guy was the fact that he actually did his acting was good as Kano.
Yeah, like the way they wrote him and stuff, that was good.
The girl who plays as Sonya, she looked like Sonya.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge issue there. I think that was okay.
Sub-Zero, I was missing the blue hue for Sub-Zero.
I think Sub-Zero's suit out of all the villains was the best looking. But it was like all black. Like people were like, "Dude, there was blue." I'm like, "Bro, I shouldn't struggle to see blue in Sub-Zero's outfit. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't have to be like, oh look, yeah, the light hit it. I see the blue."
Because the first time I saw him,
that's not how it works.
Because the first time I saw him, it was the teleportation, but it was teleportation smoke.
Yeah.
And then he didn't look blue, so I was like, "Oh, is that smoke?" Nah, it's Sub-Zero because the ice. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I know.
So one simple thing across all characters: the characters have a hue, either from their costume has a specific hue, or their power has a hue. Johnny Cage has a green hue when he uses his fucking chakra power.
Which, by the way, he was not in this movie at all, which made me really upset.
It's stupid as fuck. Liu Kang hue is red, because not only from the bandana, but with his fire, so he has a red hue. Scorpion, yellow, obviously. Sub-Zero, blue. Even his ice has a blue hue to it. And here, it was just strictly ice. I know that's a nitpick, but when there's so much wrong with something, those nitpicks hit. Okay, like, Sub-Zero taking Jack's arms. I wouldn't care. Because technically it's Ermac, but I wouldn't care if this movie was baller. Mm-hmm. But since this movie is trash, shit like that bugs me. There's too many big things for us to ignore the little things.
Exactly.
So it just kind of trickled down. Because now, another big issue was what did they call it?
Arcana, whatever.
That is so Jack's Arcana, he builds his own robot arms.
Which is dumb.
Trash. Kano uses Arcana for laser eye? No, bitch. It's a fucking faceplate. Sonya, instead of her gauntlets, she just shoots the thing. Like, you know how much story that changes? Because that means we shouldn't get Sector, Cyrax, Tribor. Because if we do get those, that means it's just their Arcana,
which is dumb.
No, they use technology because
it's lazy writing.
These games and characters use technology. Like Sonya has the gauntlets. Mm-hmm. Jax literally gets those holes installed.
There's only a few characters who actually have like quote unquote magical power.
Yeah, and it's like chakra related. Johnny Cage is one. Liu Kang is one.
Mm-hmm. Kung Lao is one.
Kung Lao has one because he can teleport, but he uses
his hat.
Cabal.
You good?
Yeah,
sorry. You okay there?
That's how angry I am.
Goro
looked great.
Goro looked amazing,
and he also died like a bitch.
But he also died.
Like he went out for no reason.
Exactly.
This movie was trying to be centered between Sub-Zero and Scorpion's beef, when in all honesty, those two characters, although we love them, are not the center. They are not the center. They are not the main piece of the story. They are just pieces of the grander puzzle. And we could have still had that, obviously, that conflict. But the main situation should be Homeboy has won 9 in a row when it comes to Mortal Kombat. So that means if he wins this next one, he gets to invade Earthrealm. Which means That's the whole. Liu Kang is technically the chosen one. Mm-hmm. He has to defeat
Goro.
Yes, and then Shang Tsung. Like,
well, technically, it's only Goro.
Well, yeah, no, for the win, but Shang Tsung's a cheater.
Yeah, Shang Tsung's a cheater.
So you have to at the end you have to also beat him. Mm-hmm. But and then that's when you have your main three: him, Sonya, Johnny, and then I'm okay. Like, I get it. People love Jax. I'm okay with him being in the first movie if it's done right.
Exactly.
And then like just seeing like Cabal, like Melina or like Natira, like or General Reiku.
Daiko or Reiko?
I think it was Reiku.
One of those.
Yeah. And they gave him a big hammer, and like I don't remember. In none of the games does he have a big hammer. He has a big ass weapon, like an axe or a scythe or something, but it's never a hammer. I'm like, bro, you could have just gave him the actual weapon. Like that's where I was at the point. I was at the point where I just like so much all these little things. I was just like did anyone play any of the games? No. All you had to do was play number 9.
That's it.
Play the first original number 9, and you could have built the story. Story simple.
And
Mortal Kombat, save us.
This movie was made to be a prequel, and
if you want to make a prequel and you want to make shit up, go back to Great Kung Lao era. Sorry, I didn't mean to like hit your face. Go back to Great Kung Lao era, and then you can make shit up. Even though we know how it ends, Great Kung Lao wins.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So no, this movie.
It's been out for a minute, so if you haven't seen it, it's on you. Spoiler, but whatever. At the end, they tease Johnny Cage, and I'm like,
he should have been there from the jump.
So now they're making it seem like the chosen one isn't even Cole Young technically. Mm-hmm. It's Johnny Cage, because now they're going into the actual Mortal Kombat. But I'm like, so Liu Kang ain't shit?
The movie lacked story. Yeah. It lacked a lot of story. They focused way too much on trying to do these fatalities and this gore that...
I would rather rewatch the 90s one.
Exactly. A lot of people said that. They would rather rewatch
at least watching that one, yes, the CG's trash, but at least rewatching that one, I feel the team dynamic, because Liu Kang, Johnny become best friends there, and they become best friends with Sonya, and then Johnny and Sonya become watching that 90s one, I can see that relationship build itself more. Shang Tsung is young the whole time, but that guy killed it as Shang Tsung, so it was okay. Like, he killed it so well.
They brought him back for
11th, bro.
Exactly.
Like, that's how well you killed that.
That's how well he did of a job.
And then even Highlander, he played Raiden. He felt like Raiden. If you loved it, tell us why. Because I know a lot of people, even personal people in my life, who like love this movie. I can't understand why. But what I chalk it up to is the fact that they don't care about the lore, which is fine, which is 100% fine. But as a person who cares about the lore, it's an issue. Same thing. Anything that has source material. When you throw the source material out the window and do whatever you want, that sucks.
It's no longer what we wanted.
Yeah, because look what they did. Like, I got to bring it up. Artemis Fowl. They threw the source material basically out the window, and that movie is absolute trash. And that's just one of many that's done that. So my thing is like, garbage. Why not stick to the source material? Like, why couldn't this movie literally take place during the first Mortal Kombat? Make the characters look proper like they're supposed to, and have everything hash out during the tournament like it's supposed to happen.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then it's just
literally all you gotta do is spend like the first 15 minutes, Raiden collecting his
I'd even give him the first 30 minutes of Raiden collecting, explaining, training, and then the last 45 to maybe 60. So no. Give him another 60. So it's an hour and a half.
No, because that's one issue. Is just the fact the budget. First of all, their budget was small.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get the budget was small.
The budget was small. But they also gave him a lot of time of an hour and 35 minutes was the movie.
Yeah, an hour and change.
That movie easily should have been at least a 2 hour and change movie.
Don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong. It should have to be. I'm not asking no 3 hour movie.
I'm not even asking for 2:30.
Just give me 2:10.
2:10.
Wow.
That wasn't even on purpose. That's how you know 2:10. You know why 2:10? Because that gives us 10 minutes of credits.
Exactly.
All right, and that gives us 2 hours of movie.
And you spend 8 minutes of credits and 2 minutes of a post credit scene.
Oh, facts. And then literally first 30 minutes. If they want to do something that's never been done before, they should have showed the Great Kung Lao winning, and then jumping to our time. And now you have Raiden searching for us.
You could explain the Mortal Kombat rules just by the Kung Lao scene.
Yeah.
Literally get somebody to narrate.
One scene, they narrate the whole thing, and you see Kung Lao in the final fight winning Mortal Kombat for the first time ever for Earthrealm. That's done. Then you jump, and now it's Raiden searching for people. He's getting them, gathering them.
There's been nine more consecutive wins for
Shao Kahn.
Outworld.
Outworld. Yeah. At that point, Shao Kahn, but at Outworld.
Yeah, but we don't know. Hey, but at that point, we don't know Shao Kahn's there.
Exactly. And then from there, you see Raiden grouping them together. Boom, that's 30 minutes. And then you still have about 60 minutes worth of tournament to really dive deep and start character building, start fighting, and start doing all this dope shit. And like this is also small, but it just bugs me because everything else was bad. Like, why is Shang Tsung in Outworld? He's supposed to be on his island on Earthrealm.
Exactly. Why is he in Outworld? It made no sense.
My thing is, I don't want a sequel. I know we're probably going to get one. I don't want one. I would rather wait 3 years and then have them announce another one and then hit it right.
This movie hurt my heart. It really did. For sure. It destroyed everything that I was looking. And the thing is, like, what I remember watching, I remember when they announced it. When you told me that they announced it and I looked at it and finally announced it, I was super excited. Then I watched the trailer, and my fucking excitement went down to the ground. Like, I remember my standards were so low when I saw the trailer.
And they still missed.
They were literally on the ground. At this point, I was just watching the movie to see, okay, let's see if it can regain its status of being at least an okay movie.
Exactly. Like, can this be enjoyable?
Further down. It went further down.
It went from excited to like, I just want to enjoy it. I just want to enjoy it.
Exactly.
Couldn't even do that. Like, so that being said, we want to hear your thoughts, because I know this is a very, like, either one side or the other feel with people, but I want to hear your thoughts as a person who has mad love and appreciation for the Lord. Let us know down below your comments, questions, concerns, requests, thoughts on this movie. What do you think? But no, let us know down below. We want to hear from you, because I know maybe there's a few things that you liked. Point that out. Maybe you can sway what we're trying to say, or maybe something like that down below. Let us know. We want to hear from you. But until next time, stay well, be safe. Adios.
This was like taking a shit